meeting was about, but it was on my calendar. I don't think I was supposed to be invited. Mm.
Do we have a Beatrice? I've got Beatrice's note taker.
That's Chris's alter ego. Yeah, he's got a lot of of AI bots. I'm worried they're going to take over and run me out of a job one day.
Hey, this is Chris. This is episode 2 of our Contractor Toolbox series featuring Will. Today, we're going to cover in depth the roof drawing, measuring, marking out the deficiencies on the surface area of the roof, and a lot of tips and tricks to make your roof handoffs from the field to production the best it can possibly be. Let's get it.
All right. So once you get basically the customer info and everything entered, and you open up the survey, your first step is going to be adding a building and laying that out. For this one, I'm just going to call it a warehouse for now, and I'm going to title it the same as the survey here, because I can't spell Louisiana. So after you grab the building type, type in your whatever you'd like to title it, you're going to go to aerial image. And this is going to be, I guess, the normal way I would first teach somebody to grab an aerial image is using the integrated map in the program. So that's going to be the get from map button here. This is going to pull up this screen. It's going to automatically search your property address, and it's going to pull up the building. If you need to, you can always look at these instructions at the top. Can you see that okay? Or is this blocking it? Okay. So if you don't remember what the command is, they're always up there on top. I like to personally, if you hold right click, this allows you to rotate the image. So I like to use the bottom of my screen, and I like to get a nice straight horizontal image. This is going to make it easier for you to trace out your roof system, because the controls you have allow you to snap to like 90 degrees. So I'm just going to grab this center roof here, and that is going to be a shift and left click hole, and it's going to give you this blue box, and you're going to draw like a picture frame around the area that you want to capture. So I always start up in the upper corner, and then I'm pulling that across the screen here. Once you have the image in here, you can hit OK, and you can add it then. So then this will add not only your building, but it'll also add an aerial image of the property. To utilize that, we need to add a roof system. For now, I'm going to just call it a TPO roof. The only thing you really need to worry about here is grabbing this. Everything else can be done at a later time. So we'll add that TPO roof, and then you can go over to drawing. So now this is basically going to be my roof section. So I'm going to start tracing that out, and that is going to be by clicking, letting go, moving to the next corner, clicking, letting go, click, let go, click, let go. If I don't like a line that I drew here currently, I can hit backspace. That's kind of like your undo, and that'll take you back to the last time you clicked and placed the line. Also worth noting, currently I have it set to where my controls are keybound. So for me, holding shift locks on to previous points. As you can see, it's locking me onto the point that I drew here. And now it's also locking me onto the one that I drew here. And it's doing that. You can see like the crosshair changes color, versus when I'm here, it changes to like a blue. That's showing that lock on point. Also, if you hold control, that allows you to snap to 90 degrees and have a perfectly straight line up or down. Control also, if you hold that, allows you to zoom in and out using your mouse wheel, and that's a good way to, if you can't see something quite well or you need to get a little closer. So if you need a reminder of any of this, there is one second here, I can't quite see the top of my screen because this bar. There is the key help here next to your settings. This will basically give you all of the command prompts that you can do with keybinds. Settings, this is actually your drawing settings. So if you'd like to change your cursor or your crosshair to a smaller one, or if you like to have the full screen like I do, you can use that. You can change the color of it, and you can actually add an outline to it as well to make it really pop and stand out. This is the snap settings. You can toggle these off and on. and have the previously drawn points snapped on all the time, and then your shift click would actually turn it off. You can do the same with the snap to 90. So kind of preference. I like it this way. A lot of people like to have this one turned on. I don't know anyone that does this, so there's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to trace this out real quick here and just show you how to finish a shape. So you can see when I did this, when I'm holding that shift, or if I have that toggled on all the time, it's going to give me that little box around the point on the end there. That means I'm locked on to the previously drawn point. I can click on that, and then I can hit enter to complete the shape. Okay. So from here, I'm actually going to delete this, and I'm going to kind of show you maybe how to import like a different image. So if we want to use a different image for this, I'm actually going to go back into the building view here. So you have some different options when it comes to what image you'd like to use. You can use the get from map, which is the internal map in the program. If you want to use a blueprint, you can load it from the PDF file here. So you're going to use this instead. I always just have a folder in my computer called blueprints. This is going to pull up a list here. And then essentially you're going to just select, whatever page in that blueprint that you would like to grab, and then hit OK. And that's going to essentially pull in that. And then you can, you'll have to set your scale with that blueprint, right? But there should be a measurement or a reference measurement in here that you should be able to utilize to do so. I'll just kind of show what this ends up looking like here.
That's cool. It pulls the page out of the PDF automatically.
Yeah, if you've ever used the estimating edge or something, typically there's like a little workaround trick to do that. But yeah, if you don't have to upload the whole set of plans, it's kind of nice.
Absolutely.
So this is gonna be a lot more detailed and bigger image. This is where like I would say using that control zoom is really nice, because I can zoom way in here and get really exact with what I'm looking at and drawing, and if you need to read any of this info. This isn't really a roof plan. I don't know if they have any. So they do have a scale here. There isn't really a way to set the scale using this in this program, at least currently. So you would use this set scale function up here, and then you would just need a reference measurement of one of these sides. A lot of times they'll have a plan that has measurements along those lengths, and you can, like most roof plans would have some kind of measurement on it that you can set the scale with. So, and then you can start drawing your roof right on top of this. And that's essentially how you would use a set of blueprints to create an estimate. So
Cool.
Going back to aerial images, the other option you kind of have with this is using an image not from the map in here. A lot of times, especially when I'm doing re-roof estimates and stuff, I am a lover of Google Earth. So I use a lot of Google Earth images to pull from, because they typically have decently clear images. You can also use like pictometry from, I believe I can't remember the company, but basically the same company as Eagle View. They take like airplane photos. You can utilize those. Just some different options. If I'm going to grab a image from a source other than within here, for instance, Google Earth, I'll pull that over. Can you see that okay?
Yes. Now, yes.
Okay. So essentially the same concept is using the map. I'm gonna line the image up with like the bottom of my screen here, and then I'm just gonna take a screenshot. So there's a key command on Microsoft for it, and that's your Windows Shift S. That's gonna pull up like your snipping tool, and then you're just gonna grab a screenshot of that building.
Yeah, that image is way cleaner.
Yeah, definitely. And not all the time, like Google Earth has its faults too. It's gotten better. There's also, it's worth noting, there's historical imagery on Google Earth, and you can tab back. I can actually show you that because I use that quite a bit. So if you go to the layers here, can you see that okay?
I can.
Okay. You can, I wouldn't use 3D buildings it gets too pixelated and your edges are going to be off. So I recommend not using that to grab screenshots. I know the image looks nice, but it's not good for estimating. Historical imagery though. So this is going to allow you to flip through every image they've taken of the building, and you can find the one that you like the best. Like this is pretty detailed, right? Like you can really see your roof or like a service estimate or something. This looks great.
For sure.
You know? So that's just some options that you can do, and the scales, should be relatively the same. And then as you get back further in the pictures, a lot of times they get crappy. So.
Mhm.
All right. So if I grab my screenshot of that for here, I'm going to say it's not a get from map. It's not load from PDF. It's actually going to be this little folder here. So this bar kind of pops up at the bottom of the screen. It's a pretty easy. You just slide your mouse down. It'll automatically show up. You're going to go open. And then anytime I take a screenshot, it automatically going to come into my gallery. So it's going to be the first image. That's just typically where I go to grab it. And then same thing, you're just bringing that image in, and you can hit OK. We'll hit modify.
Nice.
So again, for this, because you're not using that map in the program, you have to set a scale. To do that, I have a program, and I'll show you guys here. And this is called Measure Map Online. So this is a pretty good one for getting detailed imagery, or detailed reference measurement, I should say. This is a building I was working on earlier. So basically, you can see this is a reference measurement that I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to clear this real quick. Basically, I'm just dropping 2 points, and I'm just grabbing that as my reference. Essentially, you would grab your reference measurement. You're going to go to the drawing here. So I'm just going to say my reference measurement showed this was 150 feet, right? So I'm going to go set scale. I'm going to draw that, make sure I try and get it as good as I can. You can hold control here as well to get that line nice and straight, so you're not off or anything. And then you're just going to click and type in your length of 150 feet. Hit OK. And now your scale is set for this image.
Okay.
And then we can start tracing out the roof by going back to your area here. And then that basically sets your image so you can draw as well.
Nice.
I will say too, the nice thing with setting a scale, like these units and stuff on this are super, super visible. So if you're using like a rectangle deficiency as well, like, and you don't know the exact size of this, we like our curb flashings for re-roof estimating are set up as rectangle deficiencies. So you're typing in a width and length and a height. That width and length will be relative to the size of the square that you have on the drawing. So it's actually kind of a little bit of a cheat way. You can figure out what size units you have up here and account for the right materials.
In this next section of the video, we're going to transition from our roof drawing into adding the deficiencies on the roof.
You add this deficiency, and it could be anything that's using a total area deficiency. It's going to have the area in square feet here, but you might not know that yet. So you can just hit add. Go to the deficiency drawing. And then I'm going to trace out the whole roof again here and just show you. Because you're going to need to do this if you're using like a re-roof estimating. So I get that completely. I'm going to get that completely drawn. Hit enter to complete my shape just like you would the roof drawing. If you got this little tail right here, you can get rid of that if it really bugs you. You just have to grab the select tool, click on the drawing, and then you're just going to move this little green square. So it's just a bug. I don't know why it does that. It puts like a little extra point right here.
Mm-hmm.
So once I have this drawn and I want to figure out what this area is, I'm actually going to use this text tool. I'm going to pull up this, and you're going to use this first drop down that has use entered in it, and you're going to change this to deficiency area. This is going to bring up your roof, like what it's calculating in square footage, right? and then you can hit OK, and you can just place that on the roof so you have it for future reference. And then I'm going to double click on this deficiency to modify it, and then I'm going to type in that roof square footage. Hit modify. So then that enters that quantity into my deficiency here. So that's one way I use this. I'll say for like account deficiency, like pipe boots and stuff. This will be a good example. Click add here. So when I have a bunch of pipes on the roof, I'll add like a pipe deficiency. And this gives me like this little circle, right? So the count is going to be a circle that you can place on the map. Now, if I have, like you have like a big building like this, you know, you zoom out, like these start to get kind of small. So a great tool that I like to use is the arrow. This pulls up, or what you can do here, you can change colors. You can change this to a medium, thin, thick for the shaft of the arrow, and then you can change the arrowhead size as well in the same fashion. So the first click is going to be the tail of the arrow, and then the second click is going to be where the point actually is at. And it's worth noting too, if you saw how I did that, like you can actually lock onto this previously drawn point as well. So if you have like a dot there, you can lock onto it.
Cool.
And then you're going to hit enter. You can continue to draw the arrow if you want, you know, go crazy. But once you get it to here, you can just hit enter, and then that'll complete that shape. Yep. So this allows you to basically kind of point out stuff. And then if there's something interesting about this, you know, I could type in the text here as well and just say reflash this pipe, right? You have all sorts of different settings that you can use for the text. You can make it bold, whatever. I like to use blue a lot, and I like to do a background color of white. This kind of stands out really, really well. Hit OK. And then you're just placing that on the map wherever you'd like. So the cool thing is once you do this kind of stuff, this sticks with the deficiency drawing, and this will show up in, like, you can make this part of your handoff to production, right? Super useful for that. So important to note with the deficiencies, right? Total area is obviously going to be a rectangle that you're drawing completely around. The total length is going to be a length that you can draw, and it's just going to calculate that length. And then your count is just going to be individual like dots that you're putting on the map. There we go. So this is what I was talking about with the rectangle deficiency. So this allows you to set basically your height, width, your height, width, and length of the curve. This is your vertical up and down that you're not going to be able to really see on the drawing because you're in a 2D image. But you know, for like a curve flashing, this is basically the height of the curve that you want to flash, and then your width and length, obviously. So cool thing with this, like again, like I was kind of saying before, is you can figure out how big these curves are. So it adds here. So I'm going to place that. So this is also a count, but it's relative to the size that you set that curve at, right? So this HVAC unit here is way bigger than 4x4, right? It's probably, if I had to guess, like a 10x8 or something. So I'm going to set this to 10x8, hit modify. And then that's actually going to change the size of this square for us to be able to visualize and see here.
In this final section of training, we'll discuss how the roof drawing outputs into the actual proposal and the report to the customer for the client-facing material, and how to sync the drawings into the report. So I'm going to just show you a couple of things. So one thing I provided, like our text at my company, is actually the drawing. It's an internal report. So if you go to that print under survey, go to internal reports, drawings. And let me just make sure. I don't know if I saved the roof drawing. I don't think I did. But this will be good. I can show you this. So what you're going to want to do is select, if I wanted my deficiency drawings to merge with my roof system and everything and have one overall drawing, you're going to click merge. Hit OK. Right. Essentially what pops up here is it'll have a cover photo of the building, which some of the guys actually like because then they know what the building looks like from the front view. Then this is where your drawing will come in. Worth noting here, I kind of knew this was going to happen. I didn't have the roof system drawn, so my deficiencies will not show up. So it's important that you have
the roof system drawn.
So, and to be clear, on the left side of the survey menu, in the actual roof, because you have a building that has a property that has a roof, we want to make
Yes.
sure that the drawing exists in the roof section, because that's the baseline that creates the report.
Correct. Yep. Because this funnels into like your composite drawing for buildings as well. So from here, I'm actually going to go back to that screen and show you the internal report real quick. So again, we're going to click that merge roof and deficiency drawings into building drawings. Okay. So now it's going to pull up, and now you're going to see that my deficiency drawings are now there. The cool thing with this too is I'll actually depending on how crazy you want to get, like I know that this first deficiency, the total area one, was like a light blue color. So what I'll actually do is go to comment, I'll underline it, and I'll grab that color so that it's actually like my key, or like it becomes like my legend, right? So this one was yellow, so I'll just grab yellow. I'll highlight this one. This one was that lime green color. So I'll go and I'll grab like a lime green color, and I'll actually highlight. And then this is what I'll provide to like the service text, right? As an overall drawing. Sometimes they don't have great reception, and then trying to pull up like a work order document or something that's got several pages to it can be a lot. So a lot of times they'll use this as just a quick reference to where stuff is on the roof that they need to work on. As for proposal piece, you're going to go to print proposal here. So there's going to be a lot of info kind of missing, obviously, from this because I don't have a ton in here. But if you look, so your roof system drawing, the one like the red square that we have here on the screen that we drew to show your deficiency drawings, that's what this is represented by. So we have that on, and we have it titled. Your deficiencies drawing again is here. So you can toggle both of these on and off if you'd like to. And you also have what's called a composite roof drawing. So if I have multiple sections underneath this building, so I have a TPO roof, say I have an EPDM and like a shingle roof, this composite drawing is going to combine all of those into one overhead aerial image, and it's going to display that with a legend showing, this number is this roof system. So again, you can toggle that on and off if you'd like to. For now, I'm going to leave all of them on, and we can kind of take a peek here at what those all look like individually. So this is your composite drawing, right? I only have one roof system on here, so it's not going to show more than that. But basically, this would be like your legend, the area and square footage of each roof section. And if I had another one, it would show that on here as well, and it would give it another line in that proposal. So if you're doing like a big property management company, something that has, like 10, 15 sections on like a big industrial building, for instance, like showing them a composite drawing of that can be super beneficial to them. So then this again is your roof drawing. This is kind of where it doesn't have any other info in here because I didn't put any in, but again, it's just going to show that each section is going to have this pop up each new section you look at. And then this is going to go into like your deficiency drawings, right? So it's going to list your deficiency, the info you have. You can put photos in here. Again, you can turn off the titles if you'd like on the roof system deficiency drawings. And then it's going to just show this right below your photos. I really like this piece. This is actually what I give the guys. I have a proposal type. So it is a print proposal, but I actually call it work order. And we just have a different layout. So basically all the photos and stuff that I put in for every deficiency, all this info with the severity, the area, I don't put the price in there, but I'll have the problem description solutions or the problem solution descriptions. And then the deficiency drawing, which is showing the location, and I'll give that entire packet to them as the work order. So they have all the info in there that they need, and then they can use that to, figure out what they need to do on the roof as efficiently as possible. One thing I just wanted to go over real quick too, with the photos. If I'm gonna drop a photo in here quick, just so I can show you. So once I have a photo in here, you can actually edit this photo. Oh, shoot, I should probably drop it into a deficiency here, so I can actually edit it. So if you want to go really cool with photo editing, obviously I got a roof system, but you could have a picture of like an individual unit on the roof or a pipe roof. This also has a bunch of drawing tools in it to edit your photos, right? So you can draw circles around stuff. You can freehand and trace out a unit if you wanted to. Again, it functions very much the same way as like the drawings do. So just another little piece for you guys for photo editing. Super, super nice in here. And you also have a text box that you can add.
Sure. I've been trying to tell them for years, draw the roof.
As head admin, I'm really trying to zoom out here and really think of all spectrums of situations we can have. So.